Happy Sunday, folks. Sunday. I didn't say that right the first time. Happy Sunday, folks. Got a mug of water again. This is actually a mug. I don't know if you can really see it. It's a mug I designed myself. Got it as a Christmas gift. You get like a marker and you draw on the mug, and then you like bake it, and your design stays on it. I just did a bunch of little weird squigglies because I'm not really an artist, but I like it, and it's a great mug to drink out of. And we'll be drinking out of it tonight as we play Islanders. So let's continue on here. You might remember we left off on this nice big sort of flat squarey island here. I did ask you to see if you notice something different about this island compared to the other three that we've already built. And it's that there's no statue here. So this is really the last new mechanic, is that we actually get to place our own statues on this island. So this takes quite a bit of forethought. Definitely one on the beach here. I think we're likely to do a beach city because that's a nice big open flat area. There's lots of room. And I think probably where there's the most trees is where we're going to end up doing our sort of industrial stuff. So let's stick that right in there with where our logging will probably end up getting built. And then I might put this one here maybe. Just kind of thinking like a resort, oasis, agriculture, stuff like that. So that's our beginning. That's our sort of skeleton plan for this island. And as we talked about, let's start with a lumber pack. So, I guess, I mean, we can just sort of build here, but I want to talk a little bit about how this has been a lot of fun for me. I don't often make the jump on doing any sort of creative thing. I stress myself out a lot thinking I'm embarrassing myself or doing something silly. So I tend to just not. But I recently, as this all started, or as this channel started, I guess, decided that I wanted to just do it. And I have, and that's been, it's been awesome. So I wanted to just say thanks to people that are watching, if anyone's watching, because this has been super fulfilling for me, doing this video, or these types of videos, and the other ones that I've been releasing, I guess. At this point, we're talking about Sunday, right? So I'm releasing a video every other day, and the other ones are more variety, sort of fast-paced kind of content, and that's been super fun to mess around with too. So if you don't know, by trade, I'm a video editor, so doing that kind of stuff is sort of what I started, is like my roots in video more than YouTube is. I mean, I guess I did do YouTube as like a high schooler, but that was like proto YouTube. I don't even know if you would call that YouTube. But yeah, like my day job is still freelance editing work. But I wasn't doing a lot of that. I think like a lot of people, I did not have much going on once the pandemic started. I was laid off Christmas of last year, or just before Christmas last year. And that was hard, but I wasn't too worried about it until, I came back from the Christmas break and started really applying to jobs in earnest, and then you start to hear about this coronavirus thing, and oh, who knows if that's going to be a big deal or not. Turns out it was. So this is all just a long-winded way, I guess, of saying that I haven't been doing much with my time or my editing skills since all of this started, and since I sort of made the leap to start doing this channel and making stuff, I really wasn't doing much at all. So I'm thankful for that, for me having something that I'm quite excited to work on now. And that yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot, I guess is all I want to say. And if you're watching, then I appreciate that too, because it's motivational to know that people are watching. Makes me want to keep doing it more. So we've started out pretty great here. We just have so much room, so I'm kind of trying to. I'm thinking like. For time's sake, I mean, I know I've talked about how I want these to be kind of meditative and slow, and something that you can sort of just, if you have anxiety issues like I do, or like many other people do, just something that you can put on and almost like a slow motion time lapse, I guess, just something you can watch, like grow in front of you, and just listen to me talk about whatever nonsense is going on screen or in my life. Take your focus off of whatever you're worrying about, because I know that that's a big issue for me, is just how to direct my focus onto something that makes me feel better, rather than whatever harmful thing I'm probably concerning myself with that I don't need to be concerning myself with. But that being said, I don't know if anyone's interested in this being, a 4-hour video, so I am trying to be somewhat conscious of how just grand and large this island can be. I think it's going to be a pretty magnificent one. Let's tuck this over here. 12 points on one of these. Really, as long as you're getting 9 or up on your sand pits, I'm pretty happy with that. And we should look around quickly before we choose. How many flowers do we have? Quite a bit over here. That works out, because we did kind of say this was going to be like our resort oasis stuff. Yeah, let's do a shaman. Let's start getting into, start diversifying our packs a bit here, because we've been working on some very standard starting stuff. So we've got another field here. I love these little ledges. I will say this has to be one of the most pleasing maps I've had the opportunity to work with in a long, maybe ever, in this game. I love these sort of, just the way that this area especially is shaping up. We've got these nice rows for fields, and the statue here giving them bonuses. That's super, I really like that. So we've got our shamans. Let's see what we can get. 30. Now, anybody who watches this series knows that I've got a bit of a catchphrase when it comes to these. And that's what I call points. And this right here, that's what I call points. So we can even get a nice 24 here on the coast too. Wow. Chef's kiss for these shamans out here. They've got a nice tree and a nice coastline that they can call their own for the time being. Got a lumberjack we can add over here to Lumbertown. See, this is basically your optimal layout for lumberjacks and sawmills, which I don't know if you've actually seen me do yet, because I've never really had the space, but you can see kind of like this triangle where you get the bonus of the sawmill for each lumberjack, as well as access to pretty much all of the trees in a given sort of bank. Let's take Fishers. So we do have a second town center. You might notice city center that I've been holding on to this whole time. I'm kind of shocked I got two to begin with right off the bat, but you know, they're not super worth it until, because look at how big the bubble is. So, you know, we're talking about having to be down here before it's really worth anything to me again, which we'll keep that in mind. We'll expand that way perhaps, but it's going to be a little while before I think that comes into play. So I can get 13 points there. I think that's going to be our best one. So let's, again, you got to search just for that edge where you get 13 and place it right there, because you want to make room for other fishers to also be able to pull in the optimal, looks like on the shoreline here, 15 even. Now isn't that something? You love to see it. So we've got two more plots of land to add to our farmery over here. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? It's even getting the bonus from the windmill too. Guys. To everyone watching. All 4 of you that will ever watch this. You're watching a great island coming into existence. One day in the future, you'll look back on this day and you'll say, boy, I'm happy that I watched that 53-minute video of a stranger building an island in an old indie game that nobody plays anymore. Look at this. It's just beautiful. 2 more of these and do I get a bonus? No, I don't get a bonus anymore, but I gotta be honest, the aesthetic is too much to pass up. I like one here. I like one there too, right at the opening. Let's do that right at the opening, because we get to keep a tree and we can sort of start squaring it off. We've got another fisher. That's when this work we did before pays off, where we can pull another 13 from somewhere else. Let's say from here, right in this inlet, I guess you'd call it, maybe a bay. I grew up on a bay. This is actually kind of shockingly similar to the shape of the bay that I grew up on, but I will say, I don't know how many shapes of bays you can really have. So maybe that's not a profound statement at all for me to make. Maybe pretty much every bay looks the same. But it does, it looks a lot like the bay that I grew up very close to. So we've got another fountain, which is just really giving our city some big points here. Let's can we get a decent lumberjack, or are we too crowded, too optimized over here? 9, 10, 11, that's a good one. I'm just going to take that one right in the middle here with 11. Lose a couple points for the other ones near it, but that's worth it for an 11 pointer. I don't know if we're going to do better really. So we've got another fountain. We've got masons, which we know. What do masons benefit? Brickyards, right? So we can get them one right on the edge there, and let's get one up here too. Oh, some good points there. We've got another, so I'm going to hold on to the fountain. We talked about this last time, about how sometimes with something like a fountain that's very versatile to place, it can sometimes be worth holding on to for a while, because you'll just get more points per mansion, per house that you actually lay out. Can these 2 hug? Ooh. Now that's a good hug, and you know, when we get a good hug, we like to go to dog o'clock, so there's Jaina again. Take a sip of water while we're taking a break, looking at the sweet dog. What a sweet dog, in a shopping cart. I believe that's in a Value Village. Look at that little nose. And we're back to the game. We are about halfway to unlocking our next island. Hopefully we can do that. I'd be pretty surprised if we couldn't. I think we're on a really good track here, and we have such a such a spacious island. I'm really honestly kind of blown away by just how much I think we're going to be able to do here. So that's some parks, and let's get our tower. So, let's think about this. Do we want to hold the tower for a long time? Or just take a 32? I think we're going to hold it for a while. I'm going to place this one out here. And we're going to start building towards that. And then I'm going to place this one here. And we can start building towards that. So we're getting ahead in the game a bit here, folks. And we're, how far? We're only 16 minutes in. That gives us a healthy amount of time here to do something a lot of fun and very interesting. 26 points there. So we're almost setting the boundaries of our city here. We may, obviously that can change, but that's a decent starting point to look at. So we've got another beautiful barley field here for these farmers. I like to think that these farmers are really good friends. Maybe they could have a shared warehouse there between them for 16 points, 21 points over here though. Let's hold that thought, because I know these warehouses are warehouses can be big points later on when you get markets, when you get you know, a couple of other of these big city buildings. So let's just keep our foot on the gas here, and we'll see where we end up. So we've got this gorgeous circus for, was that 62 points I saw? Was that 62 points I saw? Somebody run the tape back. I believe I saw 62 points at some point there. Let's think about that for a minute while we slide this mansion in next to some of its friends. 62 point circus. Now that's going to be hard to top. That's a beautiful one. And again, so because we've sort of done this with our town centers, and we've done a good job of spreading out our fissures, we can take one this close here. 27 points, again, being on the coast. Super optimal location for serving the city, and just a great amount of points for us. A gold mine. We do have gold out here. So we can... Oop. There you go. So that gold has a long journey back towards here, where we're going to see big points. Jewelry store placed in just a little while. I'll slide that house in perhaps over here. Yep. 25 point house. You're gonna have a hard time convincing me that I shouldn't do that one. Another 13 point field. Again, this is just, I don't know. Yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying this whole build as much as I am, because I'm just thrilled with how this is coming out so far. It's such kind of a gorgeous space we're getting here, and these, getting all these lakes too that just look so nice together. And 16 points here, 18 next to the fountain. Take that any day of the week. A market. So that's what I've been saving this plateau for. So 66 point market. That's pretty good. Let's see if we can get this. I believe the warehouse gets a bonus. Yeah. So if we can get a decent warehouse, say here, 22 is pretty good. 24, 16 over there, 11. Yeah, so I liked that 22 that we were just seeing here. That's a great place for it. It also allows us, I think, oh, can we not sneak that in there? Let's sneak that plateau in there first. 30 point plateau. Now that's big on its own. But a 30 point plateau plus a 22 point warehouse here. Plus an 85 point market. You may have noticed I also moved myself back up into this corner here. I think in the last Islanders video I was down there. I was covering the score up, which really doesn't matter. The score is not a huge part of the way that we're playing the game. It's a big part of the way you can play the game, but we're just kind of having we're having just a more of a fun run, so I didn't feel too bad about covering up the score. Can we get a 20 pointer, huh? 20 pointer? A 20 pointer? Sorry to my British viewers for that one. But I'll take that 20, and I like that spot. It's almost like it was built for it. Just the perfect shape for the brickyard there. Resort. So I do like looking out at the horizon of these islands sometimes because, again, you have so much hustle and bustle here. But then, you know, you can kind of just zoom over and it's so quiet. You can actually, this is a point that I noticed while I was recording the last video. So if you listen, I don't know how loud the game audio is for you, but I'm going to be quiet for a second. You can hear like little ambient city noises when you're sort of panned over the city, but then when you come out here, it's like wind, it's dogs barking, it's chirping. It's really interesting. It's kind of a, it's obviously got some kind of awareness about what buildings you have placed where. So let's maybe, I mean, this diagonal looks a little odd, but it's hard to argue with 56 points, especially on a resort oasis. See, this is what you get when you do a really good job planning. Not to toot my own horn, you did a really good job planning, but you can get some absolutely fantastic scores when you're, look at that, and that just looks like it's a part of the oasis. Where's that 21? I had 22. Perfect. Perfect. Another one out here. Let's take another 20 point park. Huh? Why not? That's just great. I'm so happy with that. So this one I thought would be good there because it kind of ties this path together, and it's also 19 points. 19 points. I'm very happy with this, so let's start building out. Can I tuck that? I can. I saw it light up there. Perfect spot for it. And we're going to just start building out, sort of closing off this corner of the neighborhood. Let's get another fountain in here, perhaps. 36 points. That's hard to argue with. Let's take that. Let's look at our jewelry store here. 50 honking points. Now that is great to see. So now we've got a tavern again. We sort of set up this entertainment district here, Circus Tavern. doors right next to each other. You love to see it. Again, let's get our houses, start to put our houses in place here to sort of start connecting this part of the city too. So sort of reached our, let's call this north-south borders, but we have not gone west yet. Embarrassing amount of time for me to figure out what the opposite of east is. So we have to be a little bit off the shore here, because you can see if I, 18, yeah, okay, I can get 18 in close here. Let's take that then. I like that 18. Again, I love this. Again, we've got these like, it's just because we've been given so much space, there's so much room to work with like nice symmetry here. A lot of the time I feel like, not that it, you know, makes the game any worse or anything, but a lot of the time you're kind of dealing with having to really make things fit, and we still will get there, I'm sure, because we're going to play this island to the end, but just the amount of space we've been afforded to start with has just been such a neat, given me a really neat way to plan that I'm not necessarily used to doing. Let's see, can we tuck this in? We can, but I don't love, there we go, that I like. And here we can close off that this lovely little park path here right through the middle of the city. And we're just loading up on packs here. Let's take both of them. We're gonna get to our huts. We're gonna do our huts late game huts here. Can I do, what do I get out here? Anything? I get a 13 if I'm near that stuff. 10, nothing. Yeah, this thing is what it is. So let's do it out here so that we can keep our nice districts alive. You know, these districts that we're always hooting and hollering about. This is really, yeah, I needed this today, I gotta be honest. I needed a nice, calm, relaxing wind down here, so I hope you did too. I hope this is something you're enjoying, because it's renewing me a bit. Had a busy weekend. Had some socially distant visits, and sitting in backyards, and that's very fun, but it's like 30 degrees right now in Canada, pretty much, or in Canada, 30 degrees in Ontario. And sitting outside for, you know, a 10-hour chat is tough in 30-degree heat. Got another beautiful 88 here. Can we can fit this plateau in? And let's hold off just a moment on that. So now we're really going to start seeing the payoff on some of these things I held off on, like this, like the tower, like, 'cause we fit in almost 60 points on that little wiggle in. And then if we can find sort of a, you know what, I should have not kept that there right away, but we'll make it work. Resorts, markets, towers, and circuses. Yes, a 40-point balloon is nothing to scoff at. And you know what? Let's just tie it to the circus. Advertising for the lovely circus. The people want entertainment, and the people will love it. Statue Plateau. So I just don't think I get anything here. Can I? 45 isn't bad, so let's can we do that? Nope. What about here? See, it's such a swing, huh? So we're not going to use the plateau, I guess, even though it gets a 25-point bonus for the plateau. Are we sure we're not going to use the plateau? Are we sure we're not going to use the plateau? 24, but then what if I do this? No. Let's just take it. Let's cut and run. 45 points. Why the hay not? Why the hay not? Now this monument. 71. Look at these points. Be honest in the comments. Have you ever seen points like this? Because these are points and a half. So we've already got our next island. That brings me a lot of joy because it means we're going to keep going on this nice, peaceful run. So we've got 1 point, 2 points, I guess. All right, what else do we have here? More of these fellas, more of these masons. We're getting big points over here because of the market, so let's just line up some of these masons. I like these. We haven't really, I think I talked so much more about like the broad strokes of what I'm doing in these last couple of videos that I do want to still take time and appreciate some of the details here. Look at these birds. Hey. Speaking of some of the details, nice birds going by, nice in sync, very satisfying. Masons doing their work there. Can we fit another 12-point sand pit somewhere? We can. Can we do better over here maybe? 12? No. We could get a 15 here, but I don't want to ruin that neighborhood. Again, we're going to keep all of our sort of our port on the outskirts of the town, these nice whirring sand industry places. I think these are our last 2 packs. No, not quite. Okay, and again, so you know the drill at this point, that we're going to start getting into just being given what we're given. Let's get this fisher out here, an 11-point fisher. Still not bad, especially considering how many other fishers we have. Kind of amazing that we can swing that even. 14. 18's a pretty good wall. I don't really want to close stuff like that off. So this is a perfect place for a wall, right? Because we just have this thin area, and we can't really put anything else there. So if we are able to use these walls effectively, there you go, 15, 18 points. That's just huge because it's, nothing else is going to go there. It's almost like an ultra thin park. Same thing here, 19 points just to put it along the bottom of that farm or market. And then again, we can sort of add this decorative wall to the park area here and get a big 22 points for that. Here we go, water plateau. So that's our last pack. You can tell because we only got one offer there. 50 something, 50, that's great. Again, that's so good, 54. If I put it on this side, I thought I saw 55 for a second, but there it is. Just get the edge of that little house there for 55 points. Another shaman that we can let's try a different area, 24. Ooh, or not. Let's just use the top of this hill, 24. Ooh. A new shaman neighborhood for 39. Wow. Is that better than our first one? Might be. I'm so pleased with this, and we still have so much room to grow. It's a super interesting sort of super interesting landscape we're developing here. I did see 40 points for a second there, did I not? I did. Let's find it. There it is. Bada boom. Okay. Get our random packs here, and now we're just off to the races in terms of, the island is effectively built. We could move on, but we're gonna play it out. So we're gonna get a big bonus here because I think if we just sort of, there we go. 28 points because we can grab most of these fields without grabbing the other windmills, so we just add some nice ambiance over here. I think we have a really nice spot for a park out here still. That's something to think about, is that we've got, you know, still got 15-point parks we can play out here, but I believe we've even got, you know, 20-point parks we could be playing around here. 11, maybe not 20 points anymore. Maybe we've 16. Yeah, I'm gonna take a 16, honestly. Yeah, let's take that 16, and let's take that 15. Again, let's add some life over here. Another 15. I like that. So we have huts. They love city centers, statues, shamans. City centers they love, huh? 26 points here, sort of on the beach. Yeah, let's do it. This is a little strat I like to call rapid fire huts. An excellent neighborhood there, sort of cropped up already. Something else to think about here is we might even be able to get away with a cheeky third market if, let's say, something like that were to crop up. We could sneak in a 46-point market there. Holy moly. Folks, we got some work to do here. So let's get in here. Like we said, we're going to start squaring it off, maybe. 5. Let's take that 8. And then we can take this gorgeous 12. And again, even over here, just huge points. 18 there. 7. And they look so pretty too. Usually you end up sacrificing sort of some of your, you know, sometimes you end up sacrificing some of what made your island beautiful in order to get a ton of points, and I don't feel like we're doing that here at all. I'm just so, the more and more we go, the happier and happier I am with it. Again, a big 40-point tower. That's just enormous. 25, 50. Ooh, oh, I saw 60. There it is. If we can just... We're on the other side of the wall, but nothing wrong with that. Our rapid fire huts here. We can keep another 26 we can tack on to that row. Let's give them some... I know it's not the optimal use of my points here, but I kind of want to just make sure that they get like a cute row of parks in front of them. You know, like I said before, this is not all about points. This is about unwinding and just turning it off for a bit. For both of us, definitely for me. I know it's working for me, but hopefully for you as well. So we're making good use of these walls. Aesthetically, we're making good use of these walls. I'm almost purely playing from an aesthetic point of view here now. We're just trying to make something... I'm so happy with how this is turning out that I kind of just want to keep allowing it to turn out that way. Let's load up on our 2 new packs we've got here. Sorry for the cracked fingers there. Let's tuck in a few more houses to complete this neighborhood. Circle it off. I think I already know where I'm gonna say that I want to live. You know, we talk about that most episodes, where I would like to set up my house, and I think I've already got a good answer for you. Should we, let's close off this square. Can't do anything here. That space is sadly sacrificed, but we can start adding something over here maybe. Look at that. It's just like it's like it was built for this, you know? It's like it was built. 19 points to add a little lake there. I do like it. 20 points and I get to keep the trees. Are you kidding me? That's the easiest decision I've ever made. Oh, here we go. This is the one I was waiting for, so that we could complete sort of the cute row of houses in front of the or the cute row of trees in front of the huts. Got another lake. 15, 11, 9. 15. I kind of like just adding out here, you know. It's sort of very 7. I had this nice lake up on the we're just adding all we're doing is adding pretty things to the world right now, and it feels good. Let's get another pack going, more houses to sort of build out right. Let's put some grass here right out towards the ocean. Ooh, sorry. Just about choked on something there. Bit of that water that I've been touting so you know, so much hubris with this water that I'm drinking while I'm talking and chatting away, and just had to remind me that I'm not all that. I really like this. We're sort of building a border with greenery and using the walls fairly effectively too, in a way that I haven't really used them before. I find that I tend to not end up being very effective with the walls. Because they come so late in the game and you've done so much other stuff that it sort of just feels like an afterthought that you're just sort of squeezing in wherever you can. But here, I mean, look at these, even these brick 25, 29 points, and we get to keep our trees. I'm truly just kind of a little blown away by how well continually by how well this is going. 25. So now we got to start the rapid fire huts around this edge. So 26, and then we can, you know, a little preparation park for when we need to do more walls. Is 16. Can I continue here? Do I get much? No, not a ton. What are these walls looking for? 21. I do like that. Yeah, let's do that. Sort of giving these a nice area to walk along with these parks. Really, really happy with this kind of. So this becomes a public beach, right? We sort of let people's homes be their homes, but they can come out to the beach and anyone can walk along. And it becomes this whole nice public area. And again, you can come in through the gates here, little gates here, to go into the parks. But the walls just provide some privacy for, you know, our rapid fire huts and our mansion area here. The mansion area always sucks compared to the housing area. Look at this circus balloon, multiple markets, just fresh fish. Who doesn't want that? What are 26? Look at that. Speaking of fresh fish, I mean, I've mentioned I'm Canadian on here multiple times. It's, you know, a big point of pride for me. It is absolutely not. But it does come up a lot for some reason. But we said fresh fish, and that just makes me think about the incredible fish I had on a vacation to Newfoundland. That was fish to remember. If you're a big fish fan, I don't know if I can recommend a place more readily than Newfoundland. So we're slowing down a bit here, and that's about right on schedule. We're about 45 minutes in, and usually you start petering out by around the 50-minute mark, so we're sort of right where we would expect to be right now. 17, making another little gate there. A new tavern. 41 I saw, 41. Where's that 40? There it is. Perfect. Now, question, do we want the rapid fire hut? Perfect. Got some more mansions that we need to find homes for. Or that we need to, not that we need, find homes for a home. Find a home for a home. I don't mind putting this outside the wall because now again, I think we talked about last time, like we thought about one of the mansions as a museum. I think about that mansion as like a, it's a place where you can come and pick up like a boat or a raft or a paddle board to go out and explore the waters. Not so much a place to live. We're gonna repurpose the mansions, the big, your huge money places to live. We're gonna repurpose them and make them public, great public projects, public places to be. Now that is tough to shake your nose at, but perhaps I will shake my nose at it, because I may want to use it over here somewhere. 11, 6. You know what? I'm gonna do it over here, but I'm not gonna take it there because I do sort of like the idea of saving that for, see, my dilemma is this: if I put that there and I get another farmer's field, I'm gonna regret it so deeply because I'm gonna want to put that farmer's field in there. So let's do some quick, decorations for these, fishers. Whoop! What happened there? That was an odd bug, but we're back in it. Again, we'll give these fishers the place to work and a dock there. And maybe this will give us a field. No field, not this time, but there could still be one soon. All is not yet lost. We'll continue putting seaweed farms out here. We know we've got an excellent place for shamans around here. This one can live up on the rock in a beautiful little spot there. Maybe this one can 21, 24. Yeah, let's put this one sort of in the gorge here. 24 right here. Sort of right up against the rock in a neat spot. Another house and another mansion we can place. House. And again, another public building out here for beach equipment, beach rentals, whatever you might want on that front. Maybe we can expand the harbor a little bit. A little green space here off the, I like that idea. Yeah, I like this. Kind of a little artificial, like, not artificial, but like a boardwalk. I guess a boardwalk is artificial. You know what I'm getting at. A nice boardwalk out there with, look at all these parks. We're loaded for bear when it comes to parks. And I'm loving all of the lakes we're getting to. I think the lakes look so nice. Let's just keep stacking up on the coast here. Getting nice greenery out on the coast. So got a hair on my nose or something. Blech. Blech. It's not a mustache hair, before you ask. It's just a normal hair. Okay, and again, we can sort of just keep expanding our seaweed farm. We've got another oasis another resort that could probably really 50 points. See, sometimes if you do like a really good job planning, you can put stuff right on top of other stuff and you get even more points because doesn't really matter. It's, oh my, can we get That's me reeling in over 100 points for one building. That is just obscene. Wow. That felt good to do. Monumental. Isn't that's in Harry Potter, right? It doesn't Ron say like monumental at some point? Can we fit? Well, that's kind of a shame because we did have such a gorgeous little spree. Oh, maybe we can. Oh, there it is. That's the ticket. Continue along that side of the city center. Got two more of these. We can connect a bookend here, and then we can sort of connect the dots on this end. Let's put a dock out here because I think it's would be pleasing. Sort of give that like its own little dock there. Again, let's talk brewery here. Again, I think this is going to be made perhaps big points again, even though you've no, see, you do lose quite a bit. 18's nothing to shake a stick at, that's for sure. Let's put it up here because I like that spot. I like again, it's kind of like it makes them look like they're working together. And let's even just sneak that here because it kind of looks like nice little supplies for the brewery maybe. Got another shaman that we can no doubt squeeze in some good points. We were gonna put one out here for like 24 or something, weren't we? Or 21, 27. That 27 is and it's a nice little remote spot. I like putting these shamans on these little ledges and remote spots because to me it feels like where they would want to go. Oh, and the ultimate finale, the coup de grace, the pièce de résistance. Beautiful, beautiful squared out farmland. And then again, we get the bookend that I was looking for. More housing that we can maybe fill the shoreline with. Yeah. Wow. I gotta say, I'm just so happy I sat down to do this. I'm so happy I sat down to do this in general. To make these videos, to do this stuff. I think today I'm just feeling especially grateful for getting to do this. Glad I took the leap, and glad that I have friends and family supporting me in saying that they like watching or whatever. That feels really good. So we're wrapping up here. This one's a little bit of a long one because we had such a gorgeous island and so much space to work with. Let's close off this sort of breaker wall there, and I think we're just going to call it. I could put out these wall plateaus, but we don't really have a nice spot for them. Maybe you could... they're not worth that many points. We don't have a nice spot for them, and I'd rather just... I want to keep this the way this is because I love it. I'm so happy with it. And we've already got the next island, so let's do our zoom ins and our talkabouts. So beautiful seaweed farm. So we're talking about this whole edge of the island is just like gorgeous, you know, for country living, industry living, you know, get to vacations and fields and parks and farming. It's just like such a pretty place to be, I think. That big, huge seaweed farm. And then up here, it gets a little more dense industry. You know, you have all of your brickworks, your lumber, that immediately, again, you've got warehouses right here that feed into the market, and your fisher, same thing, that can kind of provide all these people with their fresh fish out in the industry. But then this just like ultra dense sort of metropolis, but it's got so much green space worked into it that I think that's something that is really striking me about this area, is that I'm not sure I've ever done something like that before, where I've had these like very clean designations and areas that are sort of green space. Even out here, you know, this nice little boardwalk, and they're so peppered in there in a way that I don't think I've done before, and that I think turned out very satisfying for me. So we were talking about where I would want to live. I think my choice has actually changed. I was initially thinking right in here. I was so happy with like the balloon and the tavern and the circus all coming right next to each other, the beachfront and the parks. Don't get me wrong, this would be a lovely place to be. More power to you if you want to live there. But I think that for the first time, I may actually come out here. I love how these farms look. I think if I could take over one of these windmills, or just sort of tend to these fields and, you know, go for the swims in the lakes, and, you know, you've still got a small little, this is like a local, you know, locals only kind of beach. It's a very small one, but you still got it, and you get all these nice things to look at. And you know, it's not a long trip to the city. What if I lived here? What would you do? You maybe take a ferry. I guess you'd have to build a bridge. You could build a bridge here, and that would kind of get you down. But if you ferried from, say, there, you could just come out around, and that would be quite the scenic trip. Come in between here, and then you dock right here, come into town. Yeah. Well, I am just it's gonna be sad to say goodbye to this island, that's for sure. I'm so happy with how it came out. And it's just really a pretty one, so it will be sad to say goodbye, but as with all things, we must. So, let's do it. Thank you for this incredible island. It was very, very fun to build. Let's start our expedition to a mysterious new island. And while we're doing this, I'll just say thank you for watching. We'll wrap it up here with just a sneak peek at what we'll build next week. We'll probably transition to these being weekly with more variety stuff in the middle, but I'm more than happy to spend, you know, at least an hour a week sitting down to talk through this building process and post these kind of long form videos, because I really enjoy making them, and I think that there are folks out there that will appreciate them in the same way that I do. So thank you again. Got this lovely, it's a little small, but there's a lot going on, and I like this color palette a lot. I love the way this grass and these crystal waters sort of mix together, so we'll explore that next week. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time.